Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to journey far beyond the surface to uncover the actual teachings of the 5% Nation. Now, if you think you know this group simply as a religious sect, or maybe just as the originators of 90s hip-hop slang, well, you're about to see things in a completely new light. Based on a really fascinating lecture series analyzing these teachings, we are going to explore the 5% Nation not as a religion, but as a profound mathematical error correction system for the mind.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with beyond the public perception. Explore the error correction system. Look at mathematics in the alphabet. Define the portable nation, trace some ancient and global echoes, and finally, decode the ultimate survival code.
All right, let's jump right in. Section 1. Beyond the public perception. Hip-hop slang versus hidden architecture.
So there is a massive, stark contrast between the mainstream view of the 5%ers and their actual hidden architecture. If you've ever heard phrases like dropping science, word is bond, or cipher in golden era hip-hop from legends like Wu-Tang Clan or Rakim, you've definitely heard their echoes. But the source lectures provide a radical new context here. This isn't a religion. In fact, they explicitly teach against it being a religion. Instead, it is an internal intellectual operating system. It's essentially a way to arrange information so that your own thoughts become self-referential, which allows you to actively filter out societal programming.
To really understand this shift, we have to rewind a bit and look at the founder, Clarence 13X. Born in 1928, he actually entered the Nation of Islam in 1960, but by 1964 he broke away. Why? Well, because he realized that knowledge shouldn't just be held by a select few at the top. He took his specific mathematical framework directly to the youth of Harlem, and man, he faced immense pushback from authorities. They literally locked him in a psychiatric unit at Bellevue, simply for proclaiming his teachings. That is how radical these ideas were considered at the time. Though he was tragically assassinated in 1969, the intellectual architecture he built was specifically designed to outlast him.
Moving on to Section 2. An error correction system. Decoding the sociological world.
Okay, so you might be wondering, where does the name 5% Nation actually come from? Well, it comes from a mathematical, sociological breakdown of society. The teachings divide the world up like this. 85% of the masses are kept in ignorance, basically stuck looking at the surface of things. Then, 10% are the elite controllers who possess knowledge, but they use it to manipulate that 85%. And the 5%? They are the poor, righteous teachers who know the truth and strive to enlighten everyone else. So the big takeaway here is that being a 5%er isn't about an ego trip or some kind of superiority. It's actually a really heavy responsibility to teach others.
Now, this operating system radically redefines familiar terms to completely rewire how the brain processes information. For example, they teach that Islam is not a traditional religion. Instead, they view it as a natural way of life. The word itself is actually broken down as an acronym: I, Self, Lord, and Master. It represents complete internal mastery and self-sufficiency. It completely removes the need for an external savior and places the responsibility squarely, directly on the individual.
And this beautifully illustrates the core function of the whole system. As the lecture series points out, it is an active error correction system. When practitioners speak, or build, as they call it in their terminology, they're using specific mathematical calculations in real time to check the soundness of the information being transmitted. They listen to the knowledge, manifest it through speech, and see if it mathematically adds up before applying it to physical reality. It's literally like debugging code, but for human communication. How cool is that?
Let's dive deeper into that. Section 3. Mathematics and the alphabet. The fractal formulas.
Think of these as the fractal formulas running under the hood of the system. Supreme mathematics assigns qualitative, not just quantitative value to numbers from 0 to 9. For instance, the number 8 isn't just an amount, it represents the concept to build or destroy. And the supreme alphabet does the exact same thing for letters. A stands for Allah, or L stands for love, hell, or right. These aren't just simple memory games, folks. They are advanced tools used to encode complex concepts into layers. As a person's understanding grows through their own lived experience, they actually unlock deeper and deeper meanings within the exact same text.
By mastering these linguistic and mathematical tools, the lecturers explain that practitioners create what is called a meme packet. This is a highly resilient bundle of key symbols and archetypes designed to pass down vital knowledge. Think of it like a virtually indestructible zip file for culture. The idea is that if your knowledge is aligned with the natural cycles of the universe, you can encode it to survive and inform human consciousness across a 25,000-year cycle. It's essentially writing history in advance, packaging knowledge so it survives massive stretches of time.
Which brings us to Section 4, the portable nation. Sovereignty of the mind.
Throughout history, marginalized groups have often sought a physical ethno-state to achieve freedom. Think of the establishment of Liberia, the Zionist movement, or even the Nation of Islam's early demands for separate physical territory right within the United States. But the 5% nation realized a crucial flaw in that logic. Physical borders, they can be blockaded, they can be surveilled, they can be controlled. So, they effectively unplugged their nation from the map. They opted instead to create an absolutely indestructible portable identity, where true sovereignty is strictly internal. The mind itself becomes the ultimate territory.
And this perfectly captures the power of this mental shift. The highly specific, and let's face it, often controversial claim within their teachings that the black man is God is reframed here in the lectures as a profound realization of internal sovereignty. If the individual is the divine authority and the nation is simply the collective consciousness of those individuals, then you are completely immune to the borders of a nation-state. You remain completely sovereign whether you are sitting in a housing project, locked in a prison cell, or standing in a foreign land.
Next up, Section 5, Ancient and Global Echoes, a universal framework.
Now, the lecture series pulls back the lens here to reveal something truly surprising. These exact mechanisms, they actually echo across ancient history. We see this portable concept in Judaism under Cyrus the Great, when identity shifted away from a physical temple and into a portable text. And the deep mathematical encoding, it mirrors the 20,000-year-old African Isango bone, which demonstrates incredibly advanced astronomical math. It even parallels the Yatagarasu secret lineage in Japanese Shintoism, which treats all things as spirited and uses ancient frameworks to develop modern spiritual technology and AI. It's a truly global, universal framework.
And finally, Section 6, the Ultimate Survival Code, Outlasting Empires. According to this entirely new contextual analysis, the teachings of the 5% nation are actually an extension of an ancient global survival code. The math, the alphabet, the portable sovereignty, they're all specifically designed to preserve the essential knowledge and cognitive structure needed to rebuild human civilization from scratch. I mean, think about it. If a global cataclysm were to wipe out the power grid tomorrow, a properly initiated practitioner holding this oral tradition in their mind basically has the foundational fractal code to restart society. It completely transforms us from a niche philosophy into a fascinating blueprint for human preservation. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. We spend so much time fighting over physical territories, external labels, and material wealth. But in a constantly shifting, incredibly unpredictable world, is true sovereignty really found in the land we occupy? Or is the only truly indestructible territory the mind we master? Keep exploring the architecture of your own thoughts. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.